G'day peeps, what it done? Liesl here again, Liesl Dewey, and straight in on our latest build, which is this lovely Romeo and Julieta, I know I pronounced that terribly, cigar box. It's quite a large cigar box, which we are going to basically turn into a 3-string hollow body electric cigar box guitar. Yep. So, what have I been up to so far? Basically, I've cut the pieces for the neck blank. So we have this plank for the main body of the blank, and this little piece here, which is going to go on top to form the fingerboard. You can see I've left a gap there for the headstock. And this nicely seasoned piece of wood, I think we're going to get a nice neck from this. In usual Liesl style. I'm coming to you from the hallway. I'm sat on the floor here. So there it is. Right, now, you will have often seen me use various methods for cutting out these apertures, as I call them. I wanted you to be able to get a closer look, so I spent a bit of time this morning basically scoring this, as I did decide to get nice neat lines, that rather than use a saw like I'd often use my fretting saw or something like that, we would actually use a craft knife to cut that out. And well, here's how I went about it. So yeah, my one concession to modern technology in this case is that I've bought a caliper so that we can measure fractions of inches and millimeters very accurately. So using a standard tape measure, I found the center of the box. I found the center of the blank, made sure that was accurate by using the caliper. And yeah, got to work basically. You can see, because I used the knife to score the slots, and I did a bit of cross hatching. So hopefully you can see where we are going to cut, and there we are. A slight aperture in the front of the lid so that we can mount the neck into the front quite nicely. You can, as you know, if you've been around for a while, just butt it up against the edge, but I think this makes for quite a nice guitar, quite a nice design, etc., and so on and so forth. So I will continue. So yeah, basically, in order to do that, I measured out the slots. I just took the square, put it against there, and cut along the edge. Pretty standard craft knife. Same on the front and on the back, because we are going to have a tail piece, a continual tail piece. So this is going to be a one-piece neck on this instrument. And then simply, yeah, using the thing, the square, the thing, that is a technical term, thing, yeah. I just did to ensure that we had a nice straight edge. And then basically just gradually went in with the knife and just scored along all the lines. Now you can take a little bit of time to do that. It's well worth it, I would say. You do get a very neat cut. And so if I just sort of continue, obviously you'll do this on a flat surface, not like I'm doing this now, because we don't want to risk injury, okay? But just to demonstrate, just as you would, just rip away until we feel that you are kind of most of the way through. And then I have found, if you're careful, you can use a pair of pliers. Try and keep this in standard English. A set of pliers, mate. Just to kind of ease those out. You can see on the back, I've cross-hatched there. Yeah. And there we go, right. So, taking said pliers, I would say go somewhere about the middle, so about here, and just ever so gently, if I can angle the camera slightly, it might help. Give it a bit of a wiggle. So yeah, just grip it. And if we've done enough scoring, which I think we have, it's probably best to hold it quite close to the line there and just give it a bit of a wiggle. Now it's at this point that the whole thing can come apart, and often it does. I just glue it back together again. But hopefully, kind of reminds me of the dentist, I don't know why, but gently does it. It's took a slight amount of material off the back, but we can patch that in the usual way with wood glue and man glitter. Very simple, yeah. And there's the front aperture. Obviously there's that rough bit, just go in again, near the bottom this time. Crunch, crunch, crunch. I think you get the idea, and then you can just put away all this excess material. That's fairly neat. And I think often that's neater than if you go in with a saw. It depends on how wide the walls of the box are, really, I would always say. Yep. Onto this bit. Same way. I can feel that's lifting away slightly from the bottom of the box, so just gently does it. There you go. And so on and so forth. And there it is. Right. That just leaves this little part here, which will accept the neck into the front of the body. Same way, get your pliers. And look at that, that came out just in one go. That's lovely. Just trim off all the bits of rubbish. Yeah. And there you go, we have our apertures, my friends. Yes, huzzah, it fits. There you go. There'll be supports under here, you'll see that later. Hopefully we can shut the lid. Slightly too shallow, but that's good because when you come to sand it, that will slot nicely in place. and you won't have too much of a gap. But if I can just show us it like this for now, and then the fingerboard will go on the top, and as you can see, it slots nicely in there, leaving the headstock part exposed. Yeah, ready to work on the headstock to fit the machine heads at a later stage. This one's going to be a straight through, so we're going to have the string pulls mounted into the tail. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. There you go, job done. So that really is about it for this one. I'm trying to keep it short and sweet because it takes a long time to upload from here. Yes, Professor Liesel has landed. Yeah, she just flew in this morning actually. She's been out in Malaysia at a sound conference. It all sounds very exciting. I'll let her discuss that with you anyway. Yeah, I don't want to burst her bubble, steal her thunder, and I couldn't really make sense of what she was saying on the phone. But anyway, I'll leave it there, and she should be along pretty soon. I may try to upload this video first, and the less I waffle, the quicker we'll have the video uploaded. The information is the important thing, so I will leave it there. I hope you enjoyed that, peeps. More will become apparent as we go, and that does leave only for me to say, wherever you are, do stay safe. Whatever you're doing, do stay blessed. And whatever life brings, keep building. Okay then, peeps. Love you all. Bye for now. Bye.